call the meeting to order. Today joining us is Ron Carl, County Attorney, and Jolene Sanchez, Clerk to the Board Administrator. Ms. Sanchez, would you call the roll of the Board, please?
Commissioner Holland?
Here.
Commissioner Baker?
Here.
Commissioner Conti?
Good morning.
Good morning. Commissioner Jackson?
Right here.
And Commissioner Sharp?
Here. Commissioner Jackson, would you please lead us in the pledge? Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Carl, are there modifications to the agenda this morning?
Yes, I have a couple things to mention. First is item 6C, which is the Arapahoe County variance request. We have a modified draft resolution for that item, and that has just been sent to you by John Topperson and also sent to Jolene for the record. And there's just a minor change in that resolution from what you saw previously. And then 6D, that agenda item needs to be revised to take out reference to the Arapahoe County variance. That item only should be the stride and Anschutz agreements. So it's just basically revising it to take out reference to the Arapahoe County variance request and leaving in the stride and reference to the stride and Anschutz agreements. And 6E, the same thing. That needs to be revised to take out the reference to the Arapahoe County variance request. That should only refer to the Tri-County MOU for contact tracing. It says contract tracing. It should be contact tracing.
Contact tracing.
Those are the two modifications, and then also the revised resolution.
Before we go to modification of the agenda, are there any questions from Mr. Carl on any of those changes?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes, thank you. Ron, I'm assuming these are just minor changes of wording here that we're dealing with, because obviously we haven't had time to read all the documents. But what you're saying is these are just minor kind of cleanup changes.
Yes, the change to the resolution on 6C is a minor change. The change to the language in the agenda for 6D and 6D is just it was accident. Those headings accidentally included reference to the Arapahoe County variance, in addition to reference to the agreements and MOU. So it's substantively it doesn't change anything. It's just changing the how it was worded.
Thank you.
And by the way, and just to add to that, the way it was worded, adequate notice was given to the public of what was included. So it doesn't. There's no problem that needs to be addressed other than just making those modifications.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda as modified.
I don't need it.
I think the motion was made by Commissioner Jackson. And Commissioner Holland, will you second?
I think that was, yeah, I think that was,
sorry, I couldn't hear people talking at the same time. Okay, Commissioner Baker
made the motion, and Commissioner Holland, will you second?
I'll second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously to approve the modifications to the agenda. Now, ask for motion to adopt the agenda as submitted and as modified.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the agenda as modified.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Conti, seconded by Commissioner Jackson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. Now is the time in our meeting where we take citizen comment. And if you are on the line and would like to make any comments, please remember to press *3 to unmute. Okay, not hearing anyone, we'll move on and close the citizen comment period. We have 2 sets of minutes to approve today. The first one was a public meeting on May 12th, and we had a full board. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Holland. I so move. Second, this is Jeff.
Motion made by Commissioner Holland, seconded by Commissioner Baker. Any modifications to the minutes for the meeting of May 12th? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. Our second set of meetings was our public meeting May 19th. We also had a full board for that meeting. Are there any questions or modifications to that, the meeting minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Holland, seconded by Commissioner Baker. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. We do not have any general business items today. Are there any commissioner comments?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Commissioner Holland.
I have nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought, go ahead with any commissioner who would like to, was that Commissioner Baker?
I think Commissioner Baker and Commissioner Jackson both.
Okay. Commissioner Baker and then Commissioner Jackson. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to acknowledge the number of communications I have received, and I'm sure that all of the commissioners have received about the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis and the ensuing protests and a lot of consternation over the abuses of power that have been publicized all over the country. And I just want to acknowledge the receipt of these very concerned citizens who are worried about abuse of police power in our communities. And I want to say that we hear you. I hear you. I know my fellow commissioners have received those communications as well. And while we support our sheriff's office and the police and law enforcement entities across our region, we do acknowledge that there's a lot of need for reform
reform, and that these kind of incidents where unarmed citizens are being harmed is something that we have to address, we have to curtail, we have to stop. I taught in police academies, and I know how I'm a retired law enforcement officer, and this upsets me. It upsets me a great deal, and I just can't abide any longer with these kind of things taking place. And so I know we had a great conversation with our sheriff yesterday, and I think Arapahoe County is doing what we can to address anything else that needs to be done, although we've taken a lot of steps over the years. And I'll cut it off there, but I just wanted to acknowledge all of the very, very passionate people who are upset with what's been going on in our communities. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Baker. Commissioner Jackson, please go ahead. Thank you, and I echo Commissioner Baker's words. I really started getting involved in criminal justice reform when I became a commissioner, and was fortunate enough to be asked to be on our justice coordinating committee. So in 10 years, I have witnessed how our sheriff department interacts with folks that they arrest, and would agree that our sheriff's department has a very humane and person-centered philosophy. That being said, there still are a lot of problems and issues in the justice realm, and I think that the folks that are the thousands of people around the globe that are fighting for equality and equity. And these issues have been ongoing for years and years and years. And as Kennedy said, the rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. And unfortunately, even after all these years, we still have problems. So it's just really past time that we stop police brutality, and that the people out on the streets who are demanding equality under the law have very good reason to be protesting. So I was doing some more research, and you think about historically some efforts to intimidate unrepresented people have boomeranged. For example, there was a lot of repression when women were fighting for their rights, and it didn't stop us, and we got the vote. This was a century ago. There were snarling dogs and police beatings with the unarmed civil rights protester, and now we have the Voting Rights Act. So change can happen, and I'm really feeling hopeful that we recognize that our opportunity is now. And I'm hoping that our current protests will bring change and bring us together for justice and peace, so our communities can live in harmony. And then I'm just going to end with a quotation. This happens to be from an activist. His name was Franklin Thomas, but he said, "One day our descendants will think it's incredible that we paid so much attention to things like the amount of melanin in our skin, or the shape of our eyes, or our gender, instead of unique identities of each of us as complex human beings." And so I close with a hopeful note that change will come peacefully. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Jackson, and I'm certain that the full board shares in the comments that both of you all have made, and that we, as our board, remain committed to working within our own county and our sheriff's department to make sure that we live up to the high standards and that the standards we should live up to as human beings, and to do the right thing for all people. And I'm certain that our board is fully committed to that, and our Sheriff's Department as well, and we'll try to continue to make sure we do that. Any other board comments? Hey, if not, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all very much.